All right, most of Connecticut right now enjoying some quiet weather, albeit a bit muggier than the past couple of days. But across the hills of northwest Connecticut, we've got some developing cloudiness there, and those clouds, as we look live from Torrington, are also producing some isolated downpours, basically from Heartland moving out of the Colebrook area, right over Winstead, over Route 8 into Torrington right now, and over Litchfield. So today's activity fairly isolated in nature. There's a strike or two of lightning, but overall it's just some briefly heavy rain here as these drift toward the east. So it is the western half of Connecticut that will feature the best chance for an isolated storm or two this afternoon. Otherwise, looking forward in time to our first alert weather days tomorrow and Wednesday. What we know right now is the increasing threat for some heavy rain and storms starting later tomorrow, lasting through Wednesday. So the biggest concern, in addition to some perhaps isolated stronger storms, the amount of rainfall, 1 to 3 inches, perhaps some locally higher amounts. So that could lead to some poor drainage and flash flooding concerns. The uncertainties right now, where the heaviest of the rain falls and how quickly or slowly this system exits. Looking live right now from Mystic, lots of sunshine in that corner of the state. Coastal communities today, upper 70s, low 80s. If you're heading to area beaches, certainly remember the sunscreen. And you can see the isolated development here across western Mass and northwestern Connecticut. So that's going to be a threat again just this afternoon. Something else we're watching, a plume of some wildfire smoke working overhead. So a bit of a hazy, smoky sky today. Could be a little bit more prevalent tomorrow. Also something we're monitoring, the uptick in humidity, borderline oppressive as we head through the next couple of days. The atmosphere is just going to be loaded with moisture as it continues to head up in our direction on a southerly wind flow. So this area of low pressure that's going to be diving across the northeast, moving very slowly. You can see later tomorrow evening, rounds of rain, heavy at times, some thunderstorms throughout the day on Wednesday, basically rinse and repeat. It's not going to be raining all day long, but rain could be heavy at times, especially if we get some thunderstorms that do develop. Still some uncertainty, 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of rain on the American model. Meanwhile, the European model saying 2 to 3 inches, perhaps even more. So that's what we have to iron out, and exactly where the heaviest of the rain will fall. So we're looking late tomorrow throughout the day on Wednesday. Scattered showers linger into Thursday. We trend drier and brighter on Friday. In the upcoming weekend, kind of looking 50-50 right now. 80 to 85, sun and clouds dry Saturday with at least a chance for some showers over the second half of the weekend.